Hey guys, today we're going to do the unboxing and overview of the Beyerdynamic T1. This is the second generation, and this is the Black Special Edition. And this is the top of the line Beyerdynamic headphone. It's catered towards and geared towards audiophiles, as it even says here on the box, audiophiles stereo headphones made in Germany. And I chose the second edition, not the third generation. The third generation is quite a bit different in terms of the sound signature compared to the first and second generations. So basically, this is meant to cater towards audiophiles who mostly, I would say, prefer balanced reference style sound signatures. And the problem with the third generation is that it eschews that in favor of a more consumer mainstream type of sound signature, which is they push up the bass way too much. And that's what I read in the different reviews of the second generation and the third generation, is that the third generation T1s, they just add way too much bass, and it makes it, you know, basically like the trying to be like a more higher version, like a more premium version of Beats. You know, that's, to me, that's not what most audiophiles are interested in. That's not what I'm interested in either. I'm not looking for a headphone with a lot of bass. And that's kind of the mistake where the Campfire, Cascades, and where the Beyerdynamic T1 third generations come in, is that they're trying to be way too mainstream and consumerist by assuming that just because a lot of the population likes to have a lot of bass, that means that people are willing to pay a lot of money for basically a higher end headphone with a lot of bass. And that's just, to me, not, you know, I'm not interested in that. I prefer the first and second generations. And the other thing is that the third generation is a very high sensitivity, low impedance headphone meant to be used with smartphones and stuff. So basically, they turned the T1, which is their flagship headphone, into something more consumerist, which is making it, you know, easily driven and bumping up the bass response. And that's not really what I like. You know, I think, like many other audiophiles, we prefer to have something that's that has a more balanced sound signature. And yeah, and these ones are actually really hard to drive. That's actually what's interesting about this headphone. Actually, the first and second generation Beyerdynamic T1s, they are 600 ohm headphones, and these are among the most highest impedance headphones on the market. What that means is you need to have a really powerful amp to be able to drive these. But on the other hand, you might be asking, why have, you know, headphones that are hard to drive? Well, if you have higher impedance headphones, basically that means you're able to put more windings around the coil of these headphones. So usually these are dynamic headphones, right? I know there's some hard to drive planar magnetics, but on the whole, I would say planar magnetics are easier to drive than dynamic headphones. If given like the fact that higher dynamic headphones, you can actually increase the impedance by increasing the amount of coil windings. So for the Beyerdynamic T1s, the first and second generation are very high impedance, so they actually wrapped a lot of coil roundings around the way that they designed this and made it 600 ohms. And basically, if you're able to drive these higher impedance headphones, like in theory, you get a much more detail in the response. So that's why I chose the second generation, not the third generation, which is lower impedance, which means that they have less windings around the voice coil, and they have the bass response boosted way too much because they're trying to appeal to mainstream consumers. So I'm not a big fan of that. That's why I chose second generation. So yeah, these are Beyerdynamic's flagship headphones, which means they originally retailed for $1,000 US MSRP, but these ones I found for about $450 online. So roughly saved about 50%, a little bit more than 50% discount, which is yeah, one reason why I would not pay full price for it, but got them at a nice discount. Also, I'm gonna have to mention that these are open backs headphones. Of course, open backs are considered to be more audiophile than closed backs because they let more air through, which means increase the soundstage and spaciousness of the sound. They also have a closed back version called the T5s, and the T5s are interesting as well. Although I think for closed backs, I already got the Focal Allegias, so I'm good on that. I don't really need a really high-end pair of closed backs. But for open backs, I'm always, you know, interested to see what it's out there, if I can find it for a good price. You know, I already have the Beyerdynamic DT1990Pros, so it'll be interesting to compare the T1s with the 1990Pros. So yeah, let's take a look. So these are the specs here. So dynamic transducer. Like I said, most of the higher impedance headphones on the market are going to be dynamic. Planar mags, can be hard to drive, but like some of them can be hard to drive, some of them can be easy to drive, but they're not going to have as high impedance as some of these dynamic headphones. Like this one can go up to 600 ohms, which yeah, I don't see any planar magnetic have this kind of impedance. Although some electrostatics, especially the old Stax headphones, can have pretty high impedance as well. But for the most part, yeah, dynamic headphones usually dominate these kind of higher impedance headphones. And then yeah, so you got 300 milliwatts power handling capacity. I'll have to see how comfortable it is. Although historically Beyerdynamic has made very comfortable headphones, so I'm not too worried about that. And yeah, we'll tell you what's in the box and stuff, which we'll take a look at. Yeah, it's a nice picture here of some German dude, I guess. Is the Beyerdynamic engineer guy holding it. Tesla technology for highest efficiency crystal clear sound. 600 ohms, like I said, the highest impedance headphone I've ever seen on the market is 600 ohms, which is this one. There's not many 600 ohm headphones on the market. This is one of the very few. Also one of the reasons I'm interested in this one. All right, audiophile grade, detachable cable. Okay, okay. I'm interested to pair this with my tube amp. I have a headphone tube amp, the X-Duo TA26, and it's able to drive pretty much any headphone I throw at it without much trouble. So that's another reason I got this as well. 600 ohms. I can't wait to test this with my tube headphone amp, because that really is a good match for it. The tube headphone amp should be able to drive this with no problem. Okay, let's take a look. Okay, so first you get this. So this being Beyerdynamic's flagship, I would expect to see, you know, a lot of stuff come in here with the box. Alright, so what do you get here? You got the congrats letter. Congratulations on the purchase of your Beyerdynamic T1s. The company was founded in 1924. Oh, they are almost 100 years old. That's pretty impressive. 1937, developed the first dynamic headphone, and then the first dynamic microphone as well. I did not know that. It's interesting. I would like to see the timeline of Beyerdynamic versus Sennheiser, their other the other well-known German headphone brand, because it's interesting. Both of them go way back, and both of them are well known for headphones and microphones. So, be interested to see the timeline there. Okay, our sound experts subject to this flagship model fine-tunes the Tesla technology and working more efficiently. Okay, and then of course made in Germany. 5-year warranty. Okay, cool. Now this is one other thing in here actually. This is our little guarantee booklet, right? Warranty, I guess. Yeah. Okay. 5-year guarantee or 5-year warranty, I guess. Okay, not bad. All right, let's take a look. This is the case. It's a much nicer case than my Beyerdynamic 1990Pros. So for comparison, I do have the DT1990Pro case right here. So you can see similar shape, but the T1 case, yeah, has like this suede type of texture on it. Is this suede? Yeah, it feels like suede. So yeah, this one definitely feels nicer. And this one, it feels more like just vinyl, basically. So yeah, definitely a nicer case for sure. And let's take a look. I'm expecting the headphones to be nicer as well. Alright, so these were originally MSRP $1,000. Which is actually a little bit surprising to me. You know, actually I expected Beyer's top end to be a little bit more expensive than that. These days you see companies like Audi's, Meze Audio, Sennheiser, they have headphones going all the way up to, you know, like $5,000 or more. So Beyer's only being, their flagship only being $1,000 is a little bit surprising. So not too unaffordable, I would say. So yeah, these are the headphones. What does it come with? Nothing. Okay, so this is just some extra space for nothing. Okay. Alright, let's look at the headphones. So, it doesn't come with any balanced cables, I think. It only comes with one pair of unbalanced cables. So this is the connection here, just a 1/4 inch connection, and of course you can unscrew it for 3.5 millimeter. But yeah, it would be nice if they would include some balanced cables. The Focal Elexes came with balanced cables. Alright, let's take a look at it. So this is the Beyerdynamic T1 2nd generation. It's open back. Actually, they consider this semi-open back, but it's pretty much open back, I would say. And nice texture here on these. Alright. Very comfortable. Beyerdynamic, in my experience, have made probably the most comfortable headphones on the market. I think Beyerdynamic and Audio-Technica, in my experience, have made the most comfortable headphones for me. So I've never experienced any kind of yeah, all my time I've tried Beyerdynamic headphones. All their headphones have been very comfortable for me. So yeah, this one very premium material. Is this lambskin leather or something? like some kind of lambskin, like some kind of nice leather here. Yeah. Anyways, this is very nice feeling. Yeah, some kind of supple lambskin type of leather thing going on here. Very nice, very soft. Cool. And of course, ear cups, everything. Like I said, Beyerdynamic have always made some of the most comfortable headphones for me on the market. You see, this is their Tesla drivers here. Yeah, very nice. So yeah, and it says T1 right here. And on the inside, you get one that says to the left. This one doesn't say right. It only says made in Germany here. So, okay. And that's pretty much it. Yeah, I guess I was expecting a little more to come in the box, but nope, that's it. Yeah, I wish they would have included some, a pair of balanced cables would be nice, but that's all you get. And I guess it does have a 1/4-inch adapter, but that's pretty basic, minimum. And compared to the DT1990Pros, I actually might like the look of the 1990Pros better. This is what the 1990Pros look like. See, these are also semi-open back. Has made in Germany right on the front, whereas this one is like actually on the back of the cups here. So I mean, look at the build quality here. I actually might like the look of the 1990Pros better, even though this is technically a lower end model. This one is about, actually I think I did pay about the same amount of money for it, $450 US. So I paid actually the same amount of money for these both, but this one retails for higher MSRP. This MSRP was like 600 bucks US. This MSRP is $1,000. So yeah, this MSRP is higher, even though I ended up paying about the same for both. And yeah, the technical specs of this one should be better as well. This is the flagship one after all. But I actually think I like the look of the 1990Pros better. They're both built to very high quality, right? Obviously, like Beyerdynamic products have always been built really well. And this one is like a cool coily cord too. I actually like the look of the coily cord more. And I actually might like this case more too. I mean, this even came with additional ear cups. Actually, it comes with different types of ear cups actually to change the sound a little bit. The T1s didn't come with that at all. It even comes with a little case here. Inside this case, yeah, there's another cable here. This one is a non-coily cord. So this one doesn't have balanced cables either, but it gave me two cables. One with a coily cord and one with a more straight cord. I prefer the coily cord because it reduces the highs a little bit, tames it a bit, because sometimes Beyerdynamics, their highs are a little bit too harsh, a little bit too bright. So I like the coily cords because they tame the highs a bit. But yeah, actually I think that, yeah, the 1990Pros actually come with more stuff. And honestly, I like the look of the 1990Pros more, even though this is technically a lower end headphone than this one. But anyways, I'm going to do a comparison between the two and tell you guys what I think about it. So yeah, the Beyerdynamic T1 2nd generation, 600 ohm headphones. This is the highest I've seen on the market. I don't know many other 600 ohm headphones on the market. And the 1990Pros, which are currently, you know, my go-to headphones for gaming and for listening to music with my desktop headphone amp. So yeah, these ones, the sound signature I remember, yeah, very dynamic type of sound. And I really love it for electronic tracks, like, yeah, anything with electronic beats, right? It's really good. So like modern dance music, or, you know, Daft Punk, K-pop, that kind of stuff. It's really good with this. And then if I use it with my headphone amp, my tube headphone amp actually increases the mids up. So that actually boosts the mids on this, which the mids on this were initially a little bit scooped and recessed, but pairing it with the tube headphone amp I have kind of mitigates that, and then it just makes the vocals and everything sound a lot better, warmer, organic. So it kind of balances out this headphone very well when I use it with the tube amp. So let's see if I can get the same kind of nice pairing with my T1s. So far my equipment pairs really well with this already. So these ones are 250 ohms impedance. So these ones are already fairly high impedance, but not as high impedance as these. These are 600 ohms. So these ones are already like needs quite a bit of power to drive. But yeah, these ones are going to require even more power to drive. So it'll be interesting to compare these. Alright guys, so it's time for me to test out these two headphones. And I have the Beyerdynamic DT1990Pros and the Beyerdynamic T1s here. Now the T1s are more expensive and they're the flagship headphone, but don't expect that they're automatically going to be better, because once you pass like the $500 range, I think it's all a matter of taste after that. Like, it's not a matter of, oh, the more expensive one always wins. It's not that simple. So that's why I'm going to test these two. Yeah, I think these are both pretty good headphones. So not the more expensive one doesn't always win. Actually, when it comes to audio, it's such a subjective thing. So it really depends on taste and preference. So I will tell you guys my opinions after I test these ones. So yeah, I'm going to test them with my X-Duo TA26 tube amplifier. So I'm going to warm up these tubes for a bit. And yeah, of course this one is going to need a little bit more power. These ones are 250 ohms, these ones are 600 ohms. So they both need some power, but the T1s definitely need a lot more power. Alright, so first up we're going to test the DT1990Pros. And okay, let's check it out. Yeah, these are the headphones I'm used to because I'm listening to them pretty much every day almost. I love them. Alright, so yeah, these headphones, I'm pretty used to them. The DT1990Pros I think are just, they're great headphones for electronic music. So yeah, like all your Daft Punk, all your newer age music, modern pop music, K-pop, everything is, it just sounds so much more alive with these headphones. I think it's, the sound signature, I really like it. It's like a soft V shape, which means the bass is pushed up a bit, the mids are pushed up, sorry, the mids are not. The bass is pushed up a bit, the highs are pushed up a bit, the mids are a little bit scooped, but I think overall, yeah, really nice for that type of music, for modern music, I think. So yeah, and plus when I pair these with the full tube headphone amps, it adds that extra little mid-range magic. I think that really makes this a really great pair for this. Yeah, it just fully evens it out. The whole spectrum is amazing. Like now it's like I got great bass, I got great highs, and then with the tube headphone amp I get nice mids as well. So I get really nice, like especially with vocals, I get nice soft organic vocals with that. So I think this headphone with this amp is just such a great pairing for me, and I think that's why I settled on this combination so far. But you know, as always, I'm curious about other combinations as well, which is why I brought in the Beyer T1s. So yeah, so far these are really, really nice. There's a reason I've been using these headphones with this amp pretty much almost every day when I'm listening to music at work and stuff. Amazing combination. Just already you have the bass and the mids, the bass and the highs here, and then you add in the tube headphone amp to kind of even out the spectrum with the nice mids and stuff. Amazing. Velvety mids and stuff with that. That's just perfect, right? Nice crisp highs and detailed bass, and then you have the velvety mids as well. Perfect. Like, I'm honestly a little bit concerned because I don't know how I'm going to improve upon this, because this is already, I guess the soundstage is really good. It could be better, I guess, but the soundstage is already pretty good as well. Maybe the mids could be more detailed, I think, as well. The highs and lows are pretty detailed on this, so maybe the mids could be a bit more detailed, but the tube headphone amp already pushes up the mids and makes it sound a little bit more natural and organic already. So I'm not really actually sure how to improve upon this combination, but we'll see. So let's check it out with the T1s. Man, these are long cables. Really long cables. Oh man, it gets tangled so easily when you have long cables like this. I actually prefer this coiled cord. Maybe is what tames the highs down a little bit. Some people say Beyers are too bright, but these coiled cords really tame down the highs. That's why I never tried using the straight cable. I just find the coiled cords better for taming down the highs already, and it just makes it perfect already. It just smooths out the highs, so it's already perfect, I think, with the coiled cords. But yeah, the Beyer T1s, interesting. I'm really gonna try these out. And this is going to need a little bit more power. Alright, here we go. It's not as comfortable as this one's for some reason. Nice. Okay, these headphones, it's interesting. They are better in a lot of ways than the DT1990s, but not in every way. I'm going to explain. So first of all, the soundstage on these are a lot better. Like the soundstage on the T1's massive. It's just way better than the DT1990Pros. Well, not way better, but it's better. Definitely bigger soundstage. And the mids are definitely more detailed. That's the thing about the 1990s, is I didn't feel like the mids were that detailed. So that fixes the issue with the mids. So the mids are definitely more detailed on the T1s. But the interesting thing is the lows on this one is, I would say overall it's a more balanced headphone compared to the 1990s, which are like more of a soft V curve. This one is definitely more balanced. Like the mids are definitely more present and more detailed compared to the 1990s. The bass is interesting. It's pushed maybe a little bit, not that much, but it's pushed a little bit, and it's fairly detailed as well. But I think I might still prefer the bass and the highs on the 1990s. So that's the thing. The highs are just okay on these. I think it's because the highs are pushed. The bass and the highs are pushed more than the mids on the 1990s, which is more why I think they're so good for electronic music, and why, like, yeah, when you play something that has like a lot of dynamics, then the 1990s are really good. I think that's why, like, when you ask for, oh, what's a good audiophile headphone to use for gaming, then the 1990 Pros are one of the top headphones recommended, because, I mean, just things like soundtracks that are really dynamic, like it has a lot of highs and lows, are more emphasized within the 1990s. So I think that's why these headphones are so far one of the best audiophile headphones for gaming, because, yeah, just a lot of dynamics, and you hear, yeah, the highs and the lows are really pushed up with these, which makes things feel more exciting and lively. So yeah, the T1s don't exactly have that. They don't have the same liveliness and dynamics of the 1990 Pros, because I think it's because the bass, the lows and highs are not pushed up relatively compared to the mids. So this one is a little bit more mid-heavy, and that's only because it's more balanced compared to the 1990 Pros, I think. So it's interesting. I think these ones are definitely better for just, it's a balanced pair, so it's really good for a lot of different kinds of music. Whereas this one is more specialized towards like electronic music, modern music, and gaming, I think. This one, good for all kinds of music. I think compared to my Focal Elexes, I might prefer these over my Focal Elexes, because I think I found the soundstage on these are a lot bigger than the Elexes. So yeah, even though the Elexes are balanced as well, and I prefer the highs on the Elexes actually compared to these. The highs on these I think are the weakness. I prefer the highs on the DT1990 Pros and the Elexes compared to these. Just the highs are just, they're present, but they're not as detailed, and not as, maybe they're not pushed as much, maybe that's why. But yeah, I just feel like the highs are just okay on here. And the mids are very detailed on this one. And the lows are just okay. They're not super pushed up or anything, but they're pretty detailed, and I like the lows on this as well, the bass. So yeah, overall I think that's what I think about it. Is it's not better in every way compared to this one, or even the Elexes. It's just, it's a different sound signature. So that's what I expected. Just not better in every way, different sound sig. I would say it's better in, yeah, it's better in maybe most ways. I don't know even know how to say that. So, yeah. So I would say this, the DT1990 Pros, first of all, the comfort level, I still think these are more comfortable. These are also more comfortable than the T1s. I mean, yeah, Beyerdynamic headphones, there's no uncomfortable Beyerdynamic headphones. They're all comfortable, but the 1990 Pros just feel, yeah, they just fit me better, I think. So I think for me, these ones are more comfortable to wear. Also, yeah, it's the sound signature of these ones. It's just the bass and the highs are pushed up on these ones, so this sounds more lively and exciting when played with more dynamic types of music, like for games and for modern music. I think that's why these sound so good with those types of music. But it's not an all-around performer. The mids are a little bit like veiled, I guess. It's better with the tube amp, right? It still has really nice mids, but it's a little bit veiled, especially when I listen to this one. And the soundstage is just, it's good, but it's not like super wide. This one, the soundstage is a lot better than this one. The mids are definitely better on this as well, more detailed, more feels more airy. And of course with the tube amp, right, it just emphasizes the vocals in the mids even more, makes it more organic sounding and warm. But it's, and the bass is nice too, it's fairly detailed, but it's just the highs it's not as exciting. So, I don't know, like, it's interesting. It's not overall, like, totally better than this one. It's just different. And I think that's pretty much my verdict on it. It's different. I would say this is better for most types of music, the T1s, especially if you compare it with like a tube headphone amp that can really drive these well. It's really good for most types of music, and the soundstage is amazing, and the mids are amazing. Yeah, just I feel the highs are a little bit lacking. That's really it. Almost perfect, not quite perfect. And then compared to the Elexes, I even prefer the highs on the Elexes, but I prefer these to the Elexes actually because, yeah, these are just very exciting headphones. So it really depends on what you guys are looking for. I'm going to do a sound test after this so you guys can see the differences. I'm going to play the DT1990Pros, then the T1s and the Elexes so you guys can see the differences between each. But my opinion, I think if you're just looking for like a nice analytical balanced pair of headphones, the Sennheiser HD800s are probably the best, but those are really expensive, and then the HD650s are like the lesser version of the 800s. And then the Focal Elexes I think are kind of like the sound signature of the HD650s, but they're more detailed. Like, I would consider them a more detailed version of the HD650. So if you guys are looking for like a reference type of audiophile headphone, I think the Focal Elexes are still the best. But then if you're looking for something really exciting that emphasizes the lows and the highs, then the DT1990Pros, you can't beat it. I mean, this is just amazing for modern music, pop tracks, like dance tracks, electronic tracks, and for gaming. These headphones can't be beat. And then the T1s, really nice. I mean, for most kinds of music, I really like the mids are super detailed, the lows are detailed, soundstage is really nice. This has the biggest soundstage out of all the headphones I've tried. But the highs are just okay. So it's not perfect. It's almost there though. Almost perfect, not quite. And yeah, I agree. If you're gonna get a headphone like these, like the T1s that have 600 ohm impedance, then definitely I highly recommend getting a full tube amp for it. Full tube amps can definitely drive it. They just have so much power on tap, so I highly recommend that. Or if you can also use if you're looking for a more neutral type of headphone amp, then I also highly recommend the Drop THX 789s, which I also did a video on. Those are definitely more analytical, more neutral sounding. This one, the tube headphone amps, they color the sound, so some audiophiles don't like that. I personally like it. I like the fact that these color the mids, and it kind of opens up the headphone more in terms of, just adding more of a natural, organic MIDI sound to it. But some audiophiles don't like the fact that tube headphone amps color the sound. They prefer something more neutral and reference. So then I recommend the THX 789s. I think those can also drive these headphones pretty well. But yeah, that's what I recommend. So anyways, that's my opinion of these two headphones. So stay tuned for the sound test and let me know what you guys think.